Why are you doing this to me?
Because I like you.
I like you too, but why are you rocking my chair?
Because you don't rock my chair.
You're too heavy to rock your chair.
Hi again, we are Peter and Jane. We are here again in Bratislava. This is our second video about Bratislava.
If you didn't see the first one, feel free to go to our channel and find it. In the first one, we covered things that you can visit in the city center if you go on foot or use public transport minimally. But in this one, we wanted to cover places which are about half an hour ride from Bratislava. So if you're traveling by car, you may want to visit these places. And we are starting with Devin Castle. A short historic note. This castle was built many centuries ago, but it was blew up by Napoleon army and never rebuilt since then to its former glory. So now it's in ruins kind of state. But for Slovakian people, it's a really important symbol, national symbol. This was the place where symbolically the self-identification of Slovak nation started.
Devin is probably closest option if you are trying to visit another castle except the
Bratislava Castle?
Yeah. It's literally 20 to 25 minutes ride by car. It's literally on the border with Austria, and from the top of the castle you can also see Czech Republic.
Also from this point you have probably the best view on the union of two rivers, Morava and Danube, and you have Austria on one side and Slovakia on the other.
Castle and surroundings around castle are hosting some events during the whole year. So if you're visiting and you would like to, for example, see nights on Devin Castle, especially if you're visiting with kids, it's really worth to visit. There's a lot of activities for kids and also shows, including all the nights and shooting from bows and stuff like that. So I think that you will really enjoy it. So definitely if you're visiting, take some food, sandwiches or whatever you like. Don't forget to bring some water because it can get pretty hot in here. And if you like to, you can really spend half of your day here on chairs like this, or just bring some blanket and you can spend some pretty good time with your family and kids in here. you were following our first advice and you went to Devin Castle first, I will give you a second one, and it's this bridge and another location just few minutes drive by car north next to the Austrian border. At the first moment we were trying to recommend you Schlosshof, and second one was this kind of for Slovakians anecdotal bridge. But at the end, when we were trying to find out what kind of procedures and approvals you need to get to do any kind of recordings and photos for YouTube on Schlosshof, we decided that we will be skipping that one. It's beautiful castle with beautiful park and labyrinth around, so don't get us wrong, it's really worth seeing it. But for us it was so complicated and even like costly to do video from that part. We decided that we are going to skip it and we are just going to recommend it to you. The fun part, as I mentioned about this bridge, was when they were building it, there was public voting about the name of the bridge. And as Slovakians are a sarcastic nation, the first place won by the huge gap, Bridge of Chuck Norris. So unfortunately our officials are not as sarcastic and they don't understand humor same ways as other citizens. It's called Freedom Bridge, but a lot of locals are still calling it Chuck Norris Bridge. So if you would like to cross Chuck Norris, this is his bridge, so be careful.
Short lesson learned, don't forget to take some repellent with you. Mosquitoes in Bratislava are vicious. Now moving to the completely opposite side of Bratislava, it's also about half an hour ride, and apart from Devin Castle, this castle is one of the most preserved castles in Central Europe, in Slovakia for sure. This castle is called Redstone or Cerveny Kamen in Slovak, and it was aside from main trade routes, and armies just didn't want to bother going here to conquer it. I won't go into too much historic details, but there are a lot of interesting small facts about this place, like this place has the biggest cellars in Central Europe. This place is the place where Witcher, the new serial from Netflix, was filmed. Somewhere here around the grounds there is the oldest chestnut tree, which is more than 500 years old. There is also a small legend, I love legends like this, about the building of this castle. So when the owner decided to build this castle, he gathered 12 wise men and told them to find a place for the castle. 11 of them agreed on the place on the other side of the hill, but the youngest of them said that it's not a good choice because that place was haunted by ghosts and fairies and they shouldn't be disturbing them. So 11 won, and they started building the basement and everything. But one day they returned to the building site after the night and found out that the building site was completely picked up and moved to the hill that was advised by the youngest of the wise men. And this is the place where the castle is staying these days. You can also visit the inside of the castle. In the courtyard there is a small cafe. You can buy coffee, some snacks there and have a break or a small lunch. There are a lot of activities around the grounds, a park like the one behind me, a lot of nice meadows. So also be prepared to spend at least half a day here. And also, additional nice point, the parking lot near the castle is free of charge. Slovakia is the country with the highest amount of castles per capita. So there is another castle, this one is in Pezinok, and in 2015 it was bought to private property and now it's a luxurious 4-star hotel. Again, we never stayed in, so it's not a recommendation. But they have a huge territory around the castle with the park, with the very big pretty chickens in it. So you can walk here, it's free to entry, and apart from peacocks there are ducks, fish you can feed and so on, so also a nice place to spend half a day walking around. Struggling with my hair because my husband banished me to Austria.
Boo.
The wind is blowing from behind and I'm sitting on the Austria side, so I have all the hair in my face.
That Austrian wind. Have you ever wanted to be in 2 places in the same time? And what about 3? In this place you can achieve the same thing as we did. I banished my wife to Austria, I'm still sitting in Slovakia, and you guys in camera, you're sitting in Hungary. Welcome to the border of three countries, Hungary, Austria and Slovakia.
Not so long ago, this place was made an interesting point to visit because it was open to artists to come here and make a statue that symbolizes three-country friendship. But this table is not the actual spot where the three countries meet. There is a stela or some kind of statue just few steps further, which is the real spot where the three countries, Austria, Hungary and Slovakia, are meeting.
Start it up.
So today we finally caught good weather again, so we can finish our video, and we are going to finish it at the art museum. The most famous modern art museum is Danubiana, and it's located about half an hour bus ride or 20 minutes car ride to the south of Bratislava. To be completely honest, we are not huge fans of modern art. It's not always intuitive, and sometimes you need a huge plaque of description to understand what was meant. But this particular one, we've been here at least twice before, and it contains the permanent exhibition of pieces which are really a pleasure to look at least the combination of colors, the visual aesthetics, composition. It's really nice looking, and even if you're not a fan of modern art, you will find pieces that are pleasing here. Also there are of course some different exhibitions taking place, and you need to follow their website probably to know more about current exhibitions. We'll see what we will catch. Also, I should mention that this is a place where locals like to spend their time, because it's not only museum itself but also area around. It's really a nice walk next to Danube River with the view of ships that are traveling up and down Danube, so also a nice way to spend half a day and enjoy the weather like we do today.
This is lit.
This particular piece behind me is called Tower of Effort, and this is kind of modern art that I enjoy to look at because it's so very detailed, and you really see tower of effort that was poured into this particular image, and I really like to look into all those small details and how it was made. For those of you who doesn't know, Andy Warhol's parents came from Slovakia. So we hope you enjoyed a glimpse inside the Danubiana Art Museum. Also, make sure to walk around the grounds and look at art installations. They're really worth seeing. And that's it for this video. If you have any ideas about other places that we didn't visit around Bratislava that are really worth it, let us know in the comments. And make sure to check our other 2 videos about Bratislava, the one about Bratislava city center
and second about food, which is my favorite.
So see you in the next one.